Right, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing a little bit of a SpellForce free cast here. In the red color, we have got ourselves Levatus, our Dark Elves. I'll be doing some new player-friendly commentary here, as we've got some Tempest Rising viewers here. And on the other side of the map, in the pink, this is Weasel playing as the Trolls. Now, SpellForce 3 is a hero-based RTS. We've immediately got the hero out. It's a free unit that you just get as part of your faction at the very beginning from those Godstones. They have a skill tree. They can be bought equipment and whatnot. They use potions. And you've got a little bit of a creep minigame. The Guardian of Nor is going to be the hero for our Dark Elves. And for the Trolls, we've got the Chieftain over here. This game does have spiders, that's right. Yeah, that's the Troll Chieftain, big chonker, with the big bonker. His skills are throwing junk, slamming the ground, and slamming lightly to slow people down. But right now we're going not so much on the brute side of things, but on the buff side of things. So he's got this troll guard mechanic where he can get his other guys joining it, and then he can buff them, make them stomp, make them run faster. That's the kind of things they've got. And they just killed the Dark Elf Spectre, the Scout, which can slow people down. This Mind Invasion effect reduces enemy movement speed, which is very nice to get the hero. You'll be noticing that these flags are getting built. And they are basically the future bases. The map is split up into these different sectors. In the different sectors, you've got different resources. You can then upgrade your flag in order to get stuff. But in this case, the Revenants were aggroed, and they're going to be taking this thing down. Weasel teleporting back to save it. Oh, it finished anyway. Interesting. Maybe it's because he teleported back and he re-aggroed them. Now this sector also has a Godstone, so you can connect that with your home Godstone, and then they turn into teleporters. It's super, super neat. The Dark Elves are going for a triple woodcutter, and on the hard rock map that we're on, that's actually pre-prepared wood, so they don't have to chop the trees down. It's also making for great efficiency because you don't have to cut through the trees, you don't increase the walking distance of the workers. There's a hunting cabin as well for food. There's several resources, as you can see. 3 core resources and 2 advanced resources. The advanced resources, you unlock the buildings for them in the next tech tiers. Except for trolls. The trolls work differently. But for everyone else, you get like iron sectors in tier 2. But a little bit of extra will be required. Levatus is doing a great job getting the flags in key sectors with iron in it, and as well as this top sector which connects with the main den with the Godstone, making it easier to defend. The heroes are equipped with a teleportation stone, Stone of Homecoming, which can then bring the hero and the surrounding army home. You might be familiar with this from Warcraft 3. This is a quite similar game, but it doesn't go with multiple heroes in one match. Each faction has 2, and then you can add an additional one in. So that's how that rolls. The trolls will need a little bit of stone breaking early on so that they can afford their additional tree choppers. The tree choppers are essentially costing stone, so you gotta juggle your resources left and right. The Smasher is going to be your core unit, and in fact it's one of the only units you can make in the game, but you can upgrade them into different variants. So basically the Smasher becomes all the new units after you send them to a building to get new equipment. A unique little mechanic for the Trolls. Whereas for the Dark Elves, well, they are a standard RTS faction. They make barracks and they train the different units from that. But the Trolls, they only make Smashers, and the Smashers have to go through the training processes. A bunch of weak sauce undeads are being farmed here by the Guardian of Nor. He's already level 3, which means he's unlocked his soul transformation teleportation skill. We might see that soon to help him get around. And this is actually another merchant base up here, because this is a free player map, so you could technically play a free-for-all here. It's a good little idea to just go there and upgrade his shields, which he probably is gonna do. We're about to find out. Oh, he's getting potions instead of the armor. I was wondering that. But yeah, this shield blocks 20%. With a 20% chance it blocks damage. Blocked damage is essentially 50% of the actual hit. But meanwhile, this Diesel Weasel guy has just taken over another sector that should by rights belong to Levatus, which will deny iron to him, but he's got these other iron sectors, so he's fine. It's just a little bit dislodged. Not the most comfortable. We've got spiders as well. Going after those smashers now. They don't resist magic damage very well, as you can see. Minus 25% magic resist, and guess what damage the Guardian of North does? Okay, all the heroes do magic damage, so these very basic units aren't very good against them. The heroes get to basically control the pace of the game early on. He's going to teleport out of the pickle, but then he ends up getting back into it, trying to draw the Revenants into the fight. That was on purpose, not a mistake. Trying to chase down the Smasher, but the Godstone teleportation ends up saving it. Maybe the other Smasher could go down, though this is looking close, but not close enough. The abilities were already used. It gets out. All the Revenant XP will be going to the Chieftain as a result. Not because it's a kill steal or anything like that. We don't have that mechanic over in SpellForce 3, but rather it's like proportional with the damage you do. Guardian of North has a big job here against 4 Smashers. He will have to chug potions. He's not that powerful as to beat all of these, especially if the Chieftain's around. So that's just not gonna happen. Drawing some Revenants in now as well. It's gonna be a quick tier 2 from Levatus. He's bringing over a bunch of extra infiltrators, which he'll then be able to wipe these Revenants with. But meanwhile, I think the Trolls have their path clear to level 5. Maybe not. Yeah, these Revenants are already reduced in number, but he'll get close. He'll get like to the middle of level 4. Maybe 70% even. Ooh, maybe more. That's gonna be really close, actually. Wow, he's almost got level 5. I guess he did clear up all the camps. But he's been denied the zombies, so I'm a little surprised. Either way, not bad. The last Skelly might be taken away from him. Ooh! All of these weaker Smashers are getting kind of sniped there by Levatus. Good job with the infiltrators. And if he can just steal that Revenant Archer XP as well from the Chieftain, that would be a big deal. But unfortunately for him, he got smashed. All of these infiltrators hurt him pretty bad. Level 5 is achieved by the Chieftain, and he's just going to leave. With level 5, you get some capstone skills, which are more powerful than the others, as you would expect. He's not using points just yet, but he could get like Slam level 2 for some extra bleeding damage on top of the regular Slam. And a bigger radius area of effect. Yeah, he's gonna upgrade hitting, so that's gonna be a transformation skill basically. Oh god, he's dead. It's been sniped. Yeah, it's a transformation skill which can turn troll guards into the next evolution of the unit, so to say. So Levatus, he's also reached level 5, however, because, well, he stole a little bit of XP. He killed some units. He got the hero kill, which also yields you a lot of XP. And he's unlocked Soul Catharsis, a healing skill, but it's a sacrifice at the same time. So you have to get rid of one of your units to heal the rest up. Didn't pick the capstones just yet, but he does have 2 points in brute force, giving him some extra power multiplier for the abilities and for his attacks. He could pick Soul Shield, which basically sacrifices a nearby unit, giving him a massive amount of resistance. The infiltrators are not the best, of course, at taking down buildings, but they're really good at taking down the workers, so we've seen some of that. Of course, the workers come back for free in SpellForce 3. You don't control them yourself, but you can hit the town bell on the buildings, and then they go back to safety. So you get to focus a lot of your energy on microing your hero, microing your army, your production, your sector upgrades. As you get more sector upgrades, you get to unlock more population. For the Dark Elves, that's enough. There's a population research as well, but he doesn't have to use that. For the Trolls, however, they have to build these tribe shelters, which actually I don't see any just yet. Don't see any, yeah. Anyway, fighting is beginning. This time, the Guardian of North does have his little soul shield around him. Sacrifices spiders, supposedly. Tarantulas are super, super weak, but I mean, they can get a lot done if they just get to block the damage. Occupy the Skull Crushers a little bit, and then later you can harvest their souls for the Dark Elf unique resource. We've just seen a hitting upgrade in action, turning one of the Skull Crushers into a wall breaker. That's a siege weapon there. He's got absolutely sick resistances, despite the hero weakening their resistances there. Again, the chieftain's dead. And there comes our big soul harvest with all these echoes left behind. Levatus is slurping them up like spaghetti. And that's going to be great for future upgrades, as well as the more advanced units that the Dark Elves can make with those souls. I don't see any Dark Temples for him just yet, so supposedly he's sticking to barracks, getting infiltrators and now sleepers out there. A little Dark Elf infantry knight unit, basically. There they are. Yep, they're whirling free swords around. You can upgrade them to actually hit free targets rather than just the one. It's a huge, huge upgrade, that one. Levatus definitely wants it. The tribe is getting sieged. A nice little healing coming in, but the infiltrator still gets picked off. Here they come. The trolls are back. Chieftain is here. He's got the little scrap armor as he picks up junk around the map. Sacrificing one of these infiltrators here for the soul shield, but it should be worth it. It also hugely increases the attacks of the Guardian of North, which are usually pretty mild because he's got... Well, he's the only hero that gets a shield like this. Almost everyone else is using two-handed weapons. I mean, you could technically drop the shield and go dual wield the swords, but dual wielding is not that great in SpellForce 3. The offhand weapon gets a massive, massive damage nerf. Levatus is doing his best to keep the trolls at bay. Every time he picks off these larger trolls, he gets a lot of echo for that. A good amount of XP is gold as well, so I think it's time for him to head back home and buy an armor soon, but not quite. And if he does, he would probably buy potions first, so maybe a tier 2 armor would be in order. The thrower tower being upgraded is actually not shooting that much right now. But once it's upgraded to the death tower, it will do so much more damage. Ooh, here they come. Bear in mind, these soul crushers can also cleave with their attacks, like the upgraded sleeper, as I said. Oh my god, all of the infiltrators might just die. Levatus is going to teleport out. This could have been very, very ugly. But he got out the last second. Pops a quick heal. And is looking to get back into the fight. Very nice. Okay, fortified outposts should be enough to hold, but ideally Levatus should be upgrading that to a border fortress if he can. The Dark Elves can get their last upgrade from the bases already in tier 2. Most races have to go tier 3 for that, so they are a little bit special like that. Trolls have to go tier 2, but their tier 2 is very expensive. And they only have one layer of upgrades, whereas the Dark Elves have to upgrade it 3 times. Then again, the troll one doubles the worker count. It's a pretty big deal. As these troll workers are lower in number, but more effective, basically, than the other factions workers. They are much bigger. But with their bases being so expensive, you know, they're not going to expand as much. Dark Elf bases are pretty dirt cheap, but they cost a lot of wood. All the buildings cost a lot of wood to make them, so you have to go very, very heavy on that. And you'll basically permanently be in the negative. The game does have this float economy, that's why you can go into the negative. Gotta be careful not to do too much of that. Yeah, so far so good for both players. Diesel Weasel has a much larger army, but if he gets weakened here, if he gets focus fired, the chieftain is absolutely vulnerable, even though he's got his higher tier armor, I think. Yeah, it's a tier 3 armor there. Levatus once again doing some great pickoffs, healing his army with the Soul Catharsis sacrifice. Diesel Weasel making great use of that Godstone, just coming back and forth and forcing Levatus to not engage that base while he can heal up that base. It's got some pretty good damage now as well, being upgraded and all. But another Soul Slurping is coming through. This game is very action-packed right now. I don't really have time to check on upgrades and whatnot. That chieftain could just slam through this army as he's slowing them down. More able to catch up. The boom droppers are in Troll Birds. This is what I said, that, you know, they can basically only make the smashers, right? Well, they can only make the also make the birds and then upgrade them into different forms. Throwers are basically small smashers with slings. They throw big rocks, spiky rocks. Scary little archer, you can upgrade them to cause armor weakening effects. Oh, Levatus is running into the melee army a little bit, and he's losing most of his sleepers already. The hero is weakened, and that's a very nice snipe there. But meanwhile, the wall breakers have bonked the infiltrators, knocking them down on the ground. That's a pretty good attack there by Diesel Weasel. He's coming back. He's nearly killed the Guardian of Nor, and now he's up 176 population to just 48. Levatus is in serious trouble. Diesel Weasel, a bit of a newer player compared to him. So very impressive to, you know, bonk the tournament champion like that. Man, Levatus has... wait, was he a tournament champion? Am I misremembering? I think it was Galactic, wasn't it? Was it Levatus? I forget now. I'm so bad. Oh god. Then again, it was like a year and a half ago. Somebody in the chat can correct me. Either way, he's very, very, very good. And right now, Diesel Weasel has an opportunity to beat him up real good. Where's his hero? It's still out of commission. He's still teleporting out. I think he's over appreciating the power of Dark Elves here. Okay, hero's back. Now they can take over, I think. Wait, where are they going? Oh no, the wall breaker. The Troll Guard wall breaker is getting caught. They're so expensive to make. But these basilisks, the Dark Elf siege unit, are really good counter to the wall breakers, who themselves are siege. Point is, they don't resist siege damage very well, unlike regular units who have 75% anti-siege armor. That's another big soul harvest coming through. We've got a massive, massive armor weakening there, which would have benefited the basilisks, because that siege armor is going down significantly during that. Then siege weapons have super high attacks, even though it's siege damage. Combine that with weakening, and you can do a lot with that. I think the Dark Elf army might just be screwed here. This is not looking good, ladies and gentlemen. If Diesel Weasel just goes, and he should go right now because he's, well, 200 population, right? He can't make any more units. The boom droppers could go and harass separately if he really wants to, but yeah, he literally can't afford more units right now. So it's time to go, I think. Hit some bases while the Dark Elves are down, especially after killing 3 of these basilisks. That's a pretty big pickoff right there to punish. Taking out the Spires of Souls would be a really good idea too. The Balls of Steel are coming in. Tempest Rising is not the only game with Balls of Steel. Although these guys can't actually, you know, smash through and crush people. They're tiny. They're explosive magic balls. The explosion does knock people down. It's not the only thing that can knock people down, though. The wall breakers are doing a great job of that, and the mass thrower with now the weakening upgrade is actually sniping the hero there. Very good job. Levatus Chieftain takes a ball of steel to the face. It hurt. But it's not over. Not by any means. Should be no problem for Levatus to run away from this, right? Well, actually, yes, it is. He's got 34 population. How is he not resigning? He's got like a base advantage or two. And that's basically what he's trying to rely on here. He gets all the border fortresses and he keeps... If he keeps getting enough echo, he should be able to produce the tier 3 units. That's why he's trying to go tier 3. Hoping for the best with that instead of relying on the tier 2 units anymore. Look, these Skull Crushers are just kind of nuts at the moment. Levatus does have the Whirling Blades upgrade for the Sleepers, but he doesn't have anything else just yet. As for Diesel Weasel, in his hitting camp, he upgraded the... He did upgrade the Skull Crusher, so that's good. The throwers have been upgraded with the weakening attacks. But at some point he'll have to go into magic units. For now, the fact that he has wall breakers is great. As far as the skill trees go, taking a look at Diesel Weasel here, he's got Troll Guard level 2, so now the Troll Guard limit is actually 5 people, not just 2. So you can keep upgrading like several people here. And as far as his skills go, he also upgraded, he also unlocked Hexing, which is where you turn your boys into magic units if they are part of the Troll Guard. By the way, the Troll special resource Scrap is gathered by these Scrapper units. You can control those. Not the only workers you can control. And where they gotta go is these scrap locations around the map, which I think he might have just eaten up already. I don't think there's any scrap left on this side. There is someone over here. So that's a scrap pile. They're usually located with iron mines, but not always. It really depends on the map. Anyway, we're missing a fight. And we've got the first Spooters. These are spooky Spooters. Twisted ones. Deal massive magic damage, which is going to be great against all these troll units with low magic resist. They have huge ranges. And they reduce focus, so you can technically counter the hero gaining any focus whatsoever. It's a pretty big deal, because the Chieftain actually is one of those heroes that doesn't automatically regenerate his focus. He'll have to rely on his allies in the Troll Guard doing attacks for him to recharge that. So yeah, quite conditional for him to be able to cast those right side abilities to boost the Troll Guard. Now, Levatus' army is just somehow scaring him, but it's actually not very big. If they had a direct fight, I would still give this to the Trolls. Problem is, the bigger Levatus' army gets, the closer the fights will be, and if it's 200 population Dark Elves, the Dark Elves should have a really good time there. They get going slower, but once they get going, they go. Ooh, that's a huge slam. Everybody has been applied bleeding, and Levatus is going to teleport out of this. There's a bunch of Dark Elf corpses there, including Sleepers, so that's been expensive. As far as his skills go, Soul of Force is level 2, but the immune to afflictions effect could have cleared all that bleeding though. That's something to think about. Either way, he also has Mark of Corruption now. All these status effects like Weaken, like Enfeeble, which reduces enemy attacks, as well as Silencing, which stops you from using abilities. can be spread with Mark of Corruption, and whenever they are applied, they cause Mark of Corruption to deal more damage. Anyway, we've got the blue armor now for the hero, and it's giving him a lot more resistances, making him even tankier than he otherwise would be. Hex Camp is now in, so we should have some magic units. There's a first one, I think. The Flesh Eater. So this guy can leech health and eat corpses. When you eat a corpse, you will gain a blood stack. And, yeah, blood flower stack. And basically that gives you more damage. The Warbringer's also in. He will be enraging nearby allies, giving them some extra attacks. It's a pretty good idea to keep it around the hero also, because it empowers the abilities. But choke point, the Dark Elves should be able to hold here with the help of the sleepers for the most part. The hero's tanking a lot of the damage, but it's just not enough, is it? Levatus still getting knocked back down to under 100 population, while the trolls are maxed. Just looking to swap into that magic composition, getting rid of the throwers now. These mages are allowed to eat corpses. This is gonna get very ugly very soon. Also, Dark Elves and Trolls actually share their resource like that. So the corpses generate the echo, the souls that are flying around, right? But if the Trolls eat the corpses, there's no souls. So they technically eat the souls too. There it is. That guy's munching. All the guys are munching. Oh my god, 8 blood stacks already. That's sick. That's an extra 30% power right there. It doesn't impact his empowered boon that he gives off with the aura, but I mean, it does stack together with the other guys that have the blood power. These guys have like a handful percents, and then they get the empowering from the Warbringer, and that stacks together. Just hanging out back here. The Dark Temples are working overtime. You might want to consider, I think, a bunch of the Fly Girls. Like Levatus, if you got the Emissaries, they're basically like the Twisted Ones, but in the air. Higher attacks. And they can summon some Skellies if they have some Echo nearby to summon them. Or Necromancer Mages. Alright, the Bone Hexers have been upgraded. That's actually the earlier Flesh Eaters that have transformed into Bone Hexers now. They ate well. They got thick. The blood stacks, they remain. So you could convert them to any unit, by the way, in the roster. The Bone Hexer could go and become a Warbringer, and it could still hold on to those blood stacks. Levatus doesn't want to defend this. I think he's willing to lose the base, to be honest, to gain more population first. He's got a lot of food and wood. So I'm not sure it's really important to come in here, but he is. He's doing it. Of course, Diesel Weasel doesn't want to fight under the base's fire. He's gonna head back. The weakening is impacting almost all the trolls. They may be big, but they clump up. And the army in the end is not that many people. The Striders, by the way, these Yoshis over here, I think they can't cause bleeding yet, but you can upgrade them to do so. And once something is bleeding, they're gonna be dealing extra damage to them. These spear throws just end up being assassinations. And then that synergizes with the Twisted Ones. If they shoot something bleeding, then they will weaken the armor of that target. So you get that together, cause bleeding, exploit bleeding, nerf the bleeders. Then you layer that on top of the Guardian of Nor spells. It goes even further. Yeah, the Dark Elves, they really reward the micro like that and planning your composition out. Most factions do, but like the Dark Elves have this special perk to them. Diesel Weasel is so passive. Oh my god, are we gonna see a Titan perhaps? At this point, we might want to think about it. Just a matter of having enough iron for Levatus. For Diesel, he would need the offerings which are being generated in the fancy buildings, the shrines to Mugwa over here. Whereas little offerings are created by the guy inside. You use that for the magic units together with the scrap resource. So much ranged firepower, the trolls wouldn't dare get in there. But if they just did, if they connect with those twisted ones with melee units, they are very flimsy. They don't have many resistances. Funnily, they resist magic of all things. So transitioning into magic is kind of helping Levatus right now. And there's all the melee boys. Once again, he's happy to trade away his hero as long as he gets some kills for it. Chieftain is level 10 no matter what. That's the maximum level. You can't go beyond that. Ooh, actually some of these twisted ones are getting picked off, but Dark Elves have infinite tier 3 resources, so they can keep doing this for a long time. As long as Levatus doesn't completely lose his sectors, he's going to be fine. And there's the emissaries. They will be summoning a bunch of skellies. That's going to make for some great sacrifices for the hero as well, should it come to that. Some more munching happening. Oh, we got a 10 blood stacks on that boy, the Warbringer over there. Only the high tier units can, by the way, eat corpses. That's 40% extra damage. Sick. That Bone Hector is impacted as well. I think we need a few more Warbringers here, but it's expensive. Bear in mind, Diesel hasn't even gone through the back sectors yet, so they're not unveiled. But that's only a spectator problem. The players actually see the map like this. So for them it's not a factor, it's a little bug. Maps are static, so it's really not a factor. Emissaries growing in number very slowly. They only got 2 now, but look at the number of dark temples. Oh my goodness, 7 of them already. As far as upgrades go, they haven't been upgraded to also have the ranged versions of the skellies. I think the melee ones are good enough for now. Ooh, more boom droppers over there. The aim for the wounds upgrade is not done for Levatus, and more importantly, the sweeping burst isn't done. So his balls of steel can't actually knock down the trolls. That's not so great. A lot of Spires of Souls have been created. Not sure where they all are. Looks like here this base is full of them. And in the end, the Harvesters can be a bit of a tank. They have been upgraded for health already. They start with 500, but now they're 750. They don't cost any population, so they just float around. They cause the enemy army to shoot them and waste DPS. You just have them chill there, and sometimes you collect souls when you're able to. Levatus does need to do that soon, because he's running out, and then he can't make tier 3 units then. Not great if that happens. You might want to make a few spiders just so he generates a little bit of echo on the ground to harvest, but also the trolls have been good eating the corpses, so they're actually denying the echo to the Dark Elves. They can't see the corpses after a while, so as they fade out of the game. You have to remember where they were. Nice little pickoffs, but meanwhile the trolls are picking off an entire base. Levatus is coming in to try and defend and potentially is going to flank this. No, never mind, there's nothing else. He brought the whole crew. And Diesel is not feeling like he should be engaging this. Understandable, because there's a very nice spread here. Great concave. Oh god, here comes the chieftain. He's bleeding, he's weakened, and he's sniped. Twisted One's doing a great job. A momentary slip for Diesel. Becoming quite costly now as his units are getting sniped left and right. The emissaries of Nor are growing in number. There's now several of them. And if they're not taken care of soon, they could be very problematic just shooting from the side here in the negative space down there. But there's a huge opportunity right now to pick off some of these twisted ones, especially as they're being slowed down. Wow, so many of them actually going down. Levatus still only on 119 population. He's trying to hold on to dear life essentially while trying to pick off as many trolls as he can. Weasel definitely should think about a Titan soon. You can, in fact, make Titans in this game. It requires one of these tainted obelisks. Then you sacrifice a lot of resources to that. For the Dark Elves, specifically, it costs like 100 Echo, so it's definitely not cheap. But, you know, Echo, it's not a real resource. You don't need workers for it. You just make your harvesters. Even the Spires of Souls don't require workers. So you just keep doing this, and eventually you'll have enough. It's not that expensive when it comes to iron, so that should be fine. Oh god, he's feeding the trolls a little bit of spiders there. Those can be eaten too. Might actually do that. Oh boy. Emissaries of Nor doing the job from up top. I have no idea why these twisted ones are here, but they're getting picked off by the towers. That's not good. Levatus doing his best to increase the numbers of the emissaries. They're very, very expensive. Oh boy. +130 population. He's starting to grow. This spider edition was probably a good idea. He can get more echo, then he can get more advanced units. Look at the number of harvesters here. This is great. Weasel just... I think he's wasting his lead, guys. Oh god, that sacrifice in there. Weakening everybody's armor. And now the magic units can go to work. This is great. Levatus having a good time with that, definitely. And all he needs to do is send in his harvesters and sacrifice them in the middle of the enemy clump. This is beautifully done. So many emissaries of Nor, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. How many is that?
Just give the word.
Right. 9 of them. And there's plenty of twisted ones also. That's a pretty big deal. For Weasel, we only have a handful of throwers and bone hexers. There's not many ranged units in this. I guess there's 3 flesh eaters as well. Levatus does teleport back because this was starting to look a little rough. But as long as he stays out of combat and regenerates all these echo units, he should be fine. Trying to find a good angle to look at this. Okay, this is good. We can see everything from up here. Wait, that's even better. You can follow the air units and then then your camera moves out a bit further than normal. Plenty of corpses should be around to eat again. But I think we're going to the Hex Camp to upgrade everybody, including there will be Warbringers. Taking a quick look at the items, we've got Noria's Command. That's a very, very important amulet to have. Oh my god. We missed it. We just barely caught the tail end of that big soul harvest. That's denying a lot of blood power, actually, to the trolls. Not great news for the trolls. Good sacrifice over there, weakening the chieftain's armor, but he's currently engaged in his ultimate ability that provides him like a ridiculous amount of armor. He's basically becoming invulnerable, but after that he gets automatically weakened. Levatus gets off another soul harvest to all these spires of souls. Ridiculous number of spires of souls, actually. I really like how he's putting them in his bases next to the fight. He's feeling confident enough to hold, but this also means that the harvesters will be back momentarily after they die. They just get regenerated automatically. Many, many more are being built. He's using all his resources on this. Suddenly, Diesel Weasel not easily able to keep up with population there. Chieftain went shopping, I think. No, he didn't buy anything. He's got 17,000 gold. His amulet, by the way, it causes more damage with these abilities. So his slam level 2 should be pretty powerful, but he didn't put any points whatsoever into brute force. So I think a switch might be in order, because the value of troll guard upgrades is not that high anymore. Maybe he can swap out of those. In fact, the troll guard skills are probably not as impactful as the hero itself. But the hero itself can't reach flying units, so that's going to be a problem going forward. So many harvesters. Oh my god, Levatus, what have you done? We've got 26 harvesters. How many harvesters could you possibly need? Levatus says yes. With all these emissaries of Nor, he can essentially do whatever he wants. It might be not the easiest thing to fight the Bone Hexers, because, you know, they're just really chunky and they have blood power and they have splash attacks. But the emissaries themselves have very high attacks also, and a decent attack speed at 0.4. Whereas, well, actually, that's not bad at all. The Bone Hexers have crazy stats themselves. They're just a little bit less infinite. And they're certainly not summoners. Although you can upgrade them to summon a corpse troll at the end. Twisted ones might do better here. Levatus might have just mined out iron by now. Oh yeah, no iron. No iron. You would need these bases, but they're controlled by the trolls, man. The trolls can't gather iron, right? They don't need it, so they leave it behind wherever they go. So they're available later if you can trade bases with them. It's totally worth it. Hero gets picked off. Both heroes might do. Chieftain with 90% resistances. Oh my god. I think he's about to be sniped. Oh boy. Here's the weakening part of his spell. It's a trade-off, but he gets away just in the nick of time. Huge soul harvest for Levatus. He doesn't have to sit down and eat. He just slurps it up like spaghetti. Levatus very low in population, but if he can just pick off a handful more of these advanced units, they're not going to be replaced very easily at all. Diesel Weasel is actually struggling a little bit with the economy. The scrap metal is low, especially the food is low. That's the biggest problem. So has to swap to a bunch of food patches if he can. More soul harvests are coming through as well for Levatus. He's having great difficulties making all this work. He isn't going for a Titan. And this is, by the way, still Diesel Weasel not having the back 3 bases. Imagine if he did have it. That would be a very different game. There's some more iron in this base, by the way. Not sure how much, but some. Okay, going down here now to, I assume, try to clean up this base. There's supposedly enough emissaries to just get it done. But is there really? What if Diesel Weasel just teleports in? They are even popped just about right now. There's a bunch of balls of steel in case it's necessary. And Levatus just got to shoot this down. And he's doing a pretty good job of it. Oh, the ball of steel actually detonates on the base. Ooh, our troll boys are coming back. Are we gonna see a focus on the hero? No, it doesn't look like it. They're more numerous than the Dark Elves, so I'm not sure Levatus is gonna have a great time here. The Corpse Troll is an easy one to snipe, but he also doesn't do much damage. Guardian of North is getting his butt kicked. Next up are the emissaries. Wait, are the trolls just gonna go in now? Wait, the chieftain activated his ultra armor. Now he's nerfed, so he probably doesn't wanna be there. Balls of steel are being made now. Diesel Weasel is rich enough for a Titan, definitely. And there come the corpses. This is a sector with the Titan in it. Just need to go there. To be fair, that's also easier said than done. Too busy bonking people. Apparently he is too busy bonking people. True. Levatus just kind of holding on to dear life, pumping in the harvesters. As long as he can do that, everything's good. His new rallying units are having difficulties joining the battle. He also still doesn't have the ball of steel upgrade to knock people down, or well, they don't knock people down if they're as big as the trolls, but they stun them. Every little bit of echo that he can get, he is harvesting. Trolls aren't leaving him much. We might have to go back to a little bit of spider and infiltrator mix. Maybe this time Levatus can take it. The base, I mean. Plenty of firepower here, but also another teleport would be absolutely doable. But what's going on here with the building repair? These moon temples are empowering all the buildings for better repairs. Instead of gathering resources. Oh well. Well, Levatus is gonna take over this one. And then that means he should be able to get more iron again. Not sure he cares about losing this, although losing all the Spires of Souls would hurt. That would hurt actually. Why is he not saving this? He wants the iron much more. Missing the Yoshis. Well, that's definitely painful. If the trolls destroy these Spires of Souls, they will gain control over all the stone that's gonna be dropped by them. The base does have a little bit of extra resources too. But they do lose their own base. And plenty of Spires of Souls remain. Well, there's another Guardian of North spawn. He has rings, but he hasn't equipped them. Oh no. Oh no, I also don't think they stack if you buy two. Has a little bit of Breath of Vitality there. But no Vampirism, so he doesn't really benefit from health other than having health. We also never seen a Soul Charge yet, I think, from Levatus. That would be really cool to see. That's a sacrifice that makes people around him faster, as well as do more damage. Sniping another Eye of the Tribe. That's a pretty big deal. Levatus already has this upgrade. Oh, he only has 26 iron here. Oh, come on. That's not very good. This base, however, has all the iron. 350. The other one as well above it. And this time, Levatus has a really nicely sized army. There comes the weakening. The hero should be very snipeable right now. But actually, he's gonna proc his little skill to go up to ridiculous armor levels. Even through the weakening, this is really good. But then he weakens himself with minus 100%, so that's the opportunity to snipe him. Levatus ran away though. The trolls are once again in a great position with pretty much full bone hexer, who are leeching life, right? So whenever these harvesters come through, they just get healed. Levatus getting back to gathering stone now. Wants to rebuild some of these spires of souls, no doubt. How many does he even have? 30 now. You can make even more if you want to. Make as many as you want, Levatus. Starting to clog up the game audio a bit. Kind of breaks in these busy fights. Okay, a decent sized soul harvest. Not very big, but definitely not small. Nobody can really get anywhere here. This is crazy. Levatus's fortified outpost is now done. Gonna try to turn it into a border fortress, no doubt. And as long as he fights all these trolls around it, I think many of them will actually go down, but they should be able to take out the outpost itself. It's important to prevent these towers from happening, so we love Diesel Weasel to do that. Dark Elf army is at 142 population only, and once again, Levatus, although he gets all these soul harvests, the harvesters are healing up the bone hexers via life leeching. Definitely a trade here. Keeps them busy though. At least they're not attacking him. He's growing larger, ladies and gentlemen.
Brothers, get ready. There's work to be done.
No more iron harvesting there. How many is that? Oh my god, he's making more harvesters. Still. Imagine if this base had stayed going, he would have like 40 by now or more. Who knows what they'll do with this base? Did he just use a skill reset potion? Or a regular skill potion? Regular skill potion. He just bought all three. He still has 26k gold. So yeah, I'm not sure what he got. Maybe a point in brute force. Troll guard level 3. Level 3 of the troll guard skill there is giving him basically more focus when the troll guards attack enemies. No echo here. Difficult to attack this ranged blob, definitely. Chieftain taking a little bit too much damage. The Dark Elves managed to snipe him. And now going after the Bone Hexers pretty much one by one. It's hurting them a lot. They have to leave. And they managed to do that. But this time Levatus has 170, 180. I think he's going up to 200 pop, ladies and gentlemen. This is the time. Can't believe it. He's making it happen. The full Dark Elf comeback. Can Diesel Weasel pump out enough units to somehow hold this at bay? His buildings are getting sniped. This is not looking so good. Catches the hero though. Now neither player has a hero. Remaking close to the front can be risky. This is a really good concave with the ranged units, and layering on top of it with the flyers is even better. Plus those emissaries are generally good against this army. Although there's 25% magic resist on the bone hexer, so you gotta be a little bit careful with overusing your magic. They also have pierce resists, so none of the tier 3 Dark Elf options are amazing. And sleepers aren't strong enough to take them on. So yeah, honestly the humans have a better time against these, but at least the Dark Elves do have the infinite economy to use. And that's why we're seeing spiders again, because we need the echo, right? Levatus needs to get it from somewhere. Are we going to finally see the chieftain getting the back bases though, or is that not gonna be a thing? Because I think Levatus might as well consider making a Titan soon. Once he gets iron. He's 200 population, ladies and gentlemen. He made it. Won't be able to destroy that base, but buildings one by one, that's much more doable. Flesh Eaters, by the way, have their stinky aura, which is reducing enemy attacks around them by 20%. Pretty good stuff when it works. Of course, with ranged units, it's much harder to make use of it. Ay, ay, ay. Right in the middle of all those mages, but they seem to be targeting the spiders or whatnot. Now the emissaries have been absolutely deleted though, and I'm not sure Levatus really wanted this fight, to be honest. I think he actually didn't. His hero is dead, and Diesel Weasel is pushing him back once more, but this time the echo belongs to Dark Elves. There's not going to be any corpse eating here. At least no crazy amounts of it. Well, that echo will be super useful to remake the army. Levatus will need that. Every little bit. Diesel still has a lot of resources, man. He can do this all day. Feeding him the spiders. Generating the echo. Oh my god, he's got the Titan. How? Excuse me? What? There's a Titan, a tainted obelisk here. Okay. He's got a Titan. I didn't look at that base. I didn't realize. But now we know. How is Levatus going to stop this? I'm not sure he can. The Mugwa's Cup is absolutely insane. It's got a very powerful ability. Doing 600 pure damage. In an AoE, of course. All he needs to do is get on top of these twisted ones, and Levatus is going to be in significant trouble. There's one thing he can do is weaken that thing, but he'll need all the enfeebles he can get to reduce the damage. And to boost his own army, most importantly, Levatus has Soul Charge, but I haven't seen him use it the whole time. He could just sacrifice the harvesters, right? Also going to the top base now. Mugwa's Cup is also really fast, faster than normal units. But with this, they might be trading bases actually. Got him Norn now on a lot of health here. Some of the trolls come back, but not all of them. Levatus is still going to respect it though and teleport out. He doesn't want to get bonked by the big titan. Doesn't cost any population, by the way. It's just an additional factor to your army. And he needed to sacrifice a 10 blood stack unit for it to spawn in. So it definitely takes some setup to do, and it's very expensive. That's why we no longer see any scrap. Let's see if Weasel can recover that by building some additional scrappers, or training them rather. So far so good. The armies are pretty equal. However, that Titan is a big extra addition for sure. Trying to tank as much as he can with the harvesters to allow his units to shoot instead. Oh my god, Saylock is in the chat. Dude, when are you coming back? We're still doing SpellForce free. Now, whenever I'm available, I'm holding like a daily event. Mods on Monday, team games on Tuesday, etc, etc. Something every time. Good to see you, buddy. So a lot of trolls, ladies and gentlemen. Can the Dark Elves handle it? Oh, you're lurking. That's great. Wait, he slapped the air units out of the air? I didn't know he could do that, but apparently his AoE is so big. Like your mom. Oh my god. That's crazy. Well, those emissaries are not for this world then. It's a lot of Spires of Souls, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see how many Levatus has. Oh god, nice bonk, but I think his hero might just get sniped now. Ooh, the Twisted Ones are doing work, but it's not going to be enough just about. Titan is now getting focused. There are a lot of Spires of Souls. I don't know the answer. 29 Harvesters are out, but there's definitely more. Hero gets sniped once again. Both heroes do get sniped. These two can do this all day because their economy is technically infinite. I mean, the wood will run out at some point, then they won't be able to make buildings. So taking out the buildings might be a strat here. Farms you can just infinitely gather food from. Echo, it comes from dead units, so technically infinite. And the harvesters keep coming back also. Offerings, as long as you have the buildings, they keep coming. Just like the food from the farms. Scrap metal slowly gets generated as long as you have some scrappers. It costs some population, of course. There's a field of scrappers there. And tell you what, guys, Weasel still hasn't felt the need to grab the back bases. Little mini soul harvests are still happening, guys. Levatus is on 180 population. If he can keep going with that, he will actually max out very soon. The Mugwa's Cub already lost almost 6,000 health. So probably isn't looking for an engagement right this moment. Levatus gonna be able to get a Titan of his own. That would be so sick if he could. I really want him to make a spider daddy, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to. I'd love it. Oh, it's going in. Looking for those mages. Oh god. Big bonk. Does massive AoE. But the Titan is also hurting actually, and the sleepers are being made to apply the bleeding affliction, but they're also getting picked off very quickly. They don't have magic resist, so tough time for them. They don't have much health either. It's good for a tier 2 unit, but it also feels like a tier 2 unit at this point. Nice distraction from the harvesters there. It will fully heal all these bone hexers, of course, but it's worth the trade-off, maybe. Ooh, a lot of archers died over there. Levatus down to just 128 population. What happened? Wait. What happened? Oh my god, the wall breakers are in for the sneak attack. Diesel Weasel is now taking the initiative. Teleport will save the base, but at what cost? The trolls could just keep pressuring the main army now. Are they going to, though? I'm not entirely sure. This is nuts. The game is already past the hour mark. Usually the map is dried out and the other factions can't really sustain themselves at this point, but these two happen to be able to. Very asymmetric economy there in the game. There's no siege weapons whatsoever for Levatus. He should really consider some basilisks, but he says, I don't need none. So many harvesters just waltzing in. Oh my god. Base should be sniped now. Just one more volley and Diesel Weasel will be losing this one as well. Rebuilding is a big job for sure. Sniping the Mugwa's Cub is entirely not out of the question, but there is no unit here that can cause bleeding. There's no echo, so he can't really afford balls of steel either. It's tough stuff. Let's teleport out to the top. To save the base, of course. Wall breakers are there, but they're also instantly responding to the teleport. Won't be a problem. Border Fortress stays up for now. Mugwa's Cub is actually getting empowered now. Interesting. And when he's standing next to a Warbringer, he's getting even more power. That's pretty nuts. Using the Godstone here to reinforce the base. Might be actually enough to... Nah, no way. No way. They're base trading now. They're base trading. Whoever gains momentum... Honestly, Levatus doesn't super need this base except for all these harvesters. So if he can claim this now and get a little bit of iron, that's actually more value to him. He already has enough harvesters otherwise. And he can maybe later reclaim this base. Or maybe not, because the trolls will destroy all the Spires of Souls. Look at that massive AoE on the Titan. But he's being kept at low HP because he's fighting and not regenerating outside of combat. That's a factor to consider. That's another use case of the harvesters. If they're attacked and the other army isn't chill, they're not going to regenerate. So this is a huge value argument, I think, for them. As this base gets built by Levatus, he will claim all the wood of the destroyed buildings. Obviously, it's not all the wood that they originally cost. There's like a reduced factor. I think it's just 33% or something.
Understood.
But that's more than he had a moment ago. Emissaries doing their best to target down some of these tougher units heading their way. The chieftains in their midst, supplying some bleeding. It's bonking him, but he's just one guy by himself. He can't do this. He's getting significantly weakened now after he popped his invulnerability, basically. Huge nerf. An opportunity to snipe, which it looks to me Levatus is gaining some ground here. Sure, some units get made to replace the trolls immediately, right? But does it actually replace them? I think not. They'll be just smashers. Takes a long time to upgrade them. Guardian Lord might be sniped by this base if he doesn't heal himself, or at least sacrifice a tarantula, and no, he's not doing that. So where are the trolls gonna go? We have got bone hexers now. Looks like our boy Diesel was able to mostly replace his army. Wait, he's got boom droppers still? Why does he have boom droppers? Oh my god, that is a lot of scrappers. But he actually has scrap this time. And he's got enough resources for another Titan. This is nuts. Levatus taking over this base once more. It doesn't have iron in it, so it's not super valuable, but it's something. This one does. That one does. You'll probably want more iron here, but he's focused on the wood a little bit. Oh, his other bases ran out, right? So kind of has to. Ooh, the Titan's nearly dead. Just 1,000 health, 1,700. If you get some good pokes in with those emissaries, they could actually get him eventually. It's a pretty big deal. So much ranged firepower from the Dark Elves. They don't really have sieging potential, but these troll buildings also aren't very strong. Another few shots connecting with the Mugwa's Cup, preventing it from regenerating. And Dark Elves are getting closer to 200 population once more. Levatus has 35 harvesters even after all that destruction happened. They're still harvesting souls. Crazy amount coming through. Holy cow. I can't believe this game. I'm so happy Levatus sent me this. Absolutely nuts. Okay, is he gonna be able to snipe the cub? Or is he gonna get sniped by the cub? Holy cow. Does so much damage. 500 health. Woo! There's no healing ability available to the trolls like that to fix that up. His hero is also down. Is this the push? Is this Levatus' moment? Or is he just gonna get sniped himself? Definitely worth turning around to snipe that here, that Mugwa's Cup, and he gets it. Falls on the ground, sinks into the ground. I'm not sure how much echo that's worth. There's an echo stack here. Does anybody know? Well, both heroes are down once again. They aren't making it very far. Levatus definitely has the goal to fix his hero. We got a hashtag no equip situation. On those rings. Yeah, he could buy himself some better armor. He could buy himself a helmet in order to regenerate health faster. Get better resistances from the armor. Yeah, I think that all would be very, very worth it indeed. Twisted One's not the best answer to the thick boys, but I mean, it does something. They're both infinite, so they can just sprint forever, really. Problem is, these guys have more health. And they have splash attacks, which ends up being better. Another Titan. Let's go. Wait. He won't be able to summon it. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. He might just lose all the resources here. If he transfers those resources to the obelisk, those resources are gonna be gone from his base. They're gonna be chilling here on the ground. You can see 20 food at a time getting taken there. There's so much food on the ground right now. If Levatus destroys this base, that's that. The carriers are actually all dead already or working on something else. So they're not transporting right now. Okay, Guardian Nor is back. Soul Charge, finally! Unfortunately, it didn't work on much of the army. And nor does it have a long duration. Ah, that's a failed teleport right there. He cancelled it. Probably would have wanted the silence. Actually, I've not seen him use his Mark of Corruption ability very much either. That's one thing to note. Lots of spiders dying left and right. Obelisk receiving no resources whatsoever because the army just keeps sniping the workers. That's insane. What about Levatus' Titan? No Titan. But he can see this flashing, right? So he knows he should probably think about it himself. He doesn't have the resources really for it. Oh god. Okay, time to eat. Really quickly before they come back. Oh, they're back. Never mind. Wait, the boss is still not upgraded. Levatus? Well, I also tunnel visions sometimes. It is what it is. Nice soul harvest there. Taking out the hero is entirely possible now, although he once again buffs him up armor-wise. Ooh, so close, but so far. Now he's very snipeable. While he's weak, get him! Ah. Isn't happening. Well, Diesel Weasel had his opportunities, ladies and gentlemen. Now he's not going to have the blood stacks in order to summon the Titan of his. But he has a lot of resources. Maybe he would be able to replenish his army. We'll have to see what he can do with that. A bunch of Yoshis again. The iron is being slowly but surely mined. One by one, these troll units are getting taken down, guys. It's looking rough. I'm not sure Diesel Weasel can hold this much longer. His base is about to be sniped. Oh my god, all the food on the ground. Look at that. That's gonna be so juicy for Levatus. He's gonna have so much wood and stone donated to him by this base once he builds it. And I think he should be able to. He should be able to. That's insane. Still no back sectors, by the way. That is the zombies are still around. That's ridiculous. Okay. Anybody want some 1 hour 30-minute zombies? I'm ready. A really good ranged army, as I said. Diesel Weasel's trying to charge in with his invulnerability thingy, but it's not gonna work if he leaves now. Oh, then he might just get out, but no, it's not enough. It is not enough. The Dark Elves are too numerous at this point. Full population, ready to bully the trolls. It might be worth it to summon a few skellies in. I don't know. I guess the harvesters are already the meat shield. You don't need them. Ridiculous tier 3 army here for the Dark Elves. Oh my god. Slow and painful death. Well, it doesn't need to be. Diesel did have infinite resources himself, but he's struggling in the wood department now. As I said earlier, if the buildings keep getting destroyed, you have to rebuild them, but with what wood? You don't have wood. It's all gone. He's mined out all the bases. So, he would have needed the back sectors. That was his only hope. He's having to recycle some buildings here so he can make back his stuff. That's tough stuff, man. Yeah, Bone Hexers, see, they cost 7 scrap and 13 offerings. You can just generate those forever. There's no wood or stone required. It's just making the buildings that's a problem now. Sharp Eye of the Tribe is getting sniped. Oh, this is very, very bad news. Levatus seems to just have the momentum at this point. 200 population with no doubt plenty of units queued up behind this.
Yes.
And now we actually know he has 49 harvesters, ladies and gentlemen. 50 harvesters. Yikes.
Building completed.
This is insane. That's crazy, bro. He made all the harvesters, including from the next game. Honestly, for most games, 5 are enough. He made 50. They're not meat shields, they're soul shields. That's right. Well, the momentum is in. Diesel still has population. He still has an army. But where? Up here? Oh, it's a counterattack. Oh, he put together the wall breaker boys. Can they do it? I'm so afraid for him. These guys are not good fighters. They have to make it to the main. And Levatus is getting the warnings. He's gonna send in the harvesters. That's the wrong thing to send. Go try to get to the capital, I suppose. Thrower's already down. Yeah, he's gonna try to get the capital, no doubt. Diesel can't repair. Oh. Oh no, he can't repair. That is so bad, ladies and gentlemen. There's a massive repair rate that this base is capable of. Levatus is shooting it with everything he's got. It doesn't repair. It can't. Wait, did he attack move just now? Yes. There's some amount of hope here for Diesel. Everything's gonna come down to the wire. Whoever loses the capital loses the game. That's the victory condition. 12,000 health and dropping. His units are getting sniped one by one. There's a handful units still attacking, and these are actual siege units here on the troll side of things. They're kind of clumped up, struggling to get in on the base. Only 4,000 health remains, but this will go much faster. Is it going to be enough? 2,000 health. No repair still. There's no wood available. The hammer boys are not going to be able to do it. Holy crap, 3,000 health at the very end. One more bonk and it would have gone the other way. This is how it's gonna end at 1 hour 24 minutes. Probably one of the longest games I've ever gotten to cast in SpellForce. Maybe the longest. Diesel killed 2,384 units. Counting for the harvesters, of course. Levatus only 313. That was insanity. Oh my god. Diesel Weasel's hero didn't do actually that much damage this game. That's a surprisingly low number for how long this was, but I guess they were very reserved, the both of them. Just absolutely redonkulous. Look at all that gold. The guys didn't spend it much. They had 100k at the end. Holy. Well, GG. Thanks to Levatus for sending this to me, and I always welcome people dropping replays in my Discord, so yeah, feel free to join and do that.